Hello my wonderful viewers, welcome to my platform. This is Linda's TV show. If it is your first time of coming across this channel and you like what you see after watching, please subscribe, put on your notification bell, set it to all notification. In that way you'll be able to get notified each time I upload a new video, even those without notification. Here we react to all forms of videos, international and local. Every Saturday by 2 p.m. we have our interaction section. You are free to call in to air your opinion about the happenings in our society. Invite your friends, share my videos with your families and colleagues. Do not keep this information to yourself. Myself, I will be sitting down here to watch this video together with you from the beginning to the end. Then we'll go to the comment section and leave our comment, our opinion about the video we watch constructively.
Nigeria are not mere state actors and state captors. Elites who have gathered together like witches and wizards in a coven to take our common patrimony, to steal our common wealth, to be united in a cause of dividing us religiously, linguistically, and ethnically so that they can have a common goal. So I decided to give you this background to tell you that it is possible for the people to have a burning desire to save Nigeria from the present brink, or the precipice, to save Nigeria from itself, from the imminent implosion, which has made Nigeria to be like a sleeping magma, waiting to erupt, like a tsunamic volcanic eruption, whose ponderous and cataclysmic effects will definitely be a problem for the entire world. These people have decided to come together to say, look, it is not just a question of capturing power for the sake of power, but if it does come in the process of these engagements with the people, so be it. In other words, we are not concerned about the power of politics, but about the politics of power. We want a renewed Nigeria, a re-engineered Nigeria, a retooled Nigeria, where there will be peace, genuine peace, unity, tranquility, egalitarianism, where there will be mutual respect, devoid of ethno-religious wars. They are concerned that the youth of Nigeria are not being reckoned with, that the women of Nigeria are being relegated, that Nigerians do not believe in the national cause because they see Nigeria as a contraction. They want a situation where Nigerians, we actually own Nigeria, and not mere state actors and state captors. Elites who have gathered together like witches and wizards in a coven to take our common patrimony, to steal our common wealth, to be united in a cause of dividing us religiously, linguistically, and ethnically so that they can have a common goal. So I decided to give you this background to tell you that it is possible for the people to have their own constitution that they can own, a constitution that they can call their own, which is owned by them, which is not imposed on them like the present constitution of 1999, which is actually decree number 24, promulgated by General Abdulsalami Abubakar when they were retreating from power with a 28-member provisional ruling council headed by General Abdulsalam Abubakar with Admiral Okai Mike Akigbe as his vice, and they gave it together to Celebra Justice Nikki Toby, may so rest in peace, who cobbled together hurriedly a document, and they called it the 1999 Constitution, which is actually a decree. A decree is a law, it's an enactment. A constitution, on the other hand, Dr. Ruben Abati, is the supreme document. It's like the name, the testimonial, the certificate of a country. It is the supreme document. We call it the font et origo. Yes, the importance of a constitution. Unknown to many people, the process, the means, the modus operandi by which a constitution comes into being is even more important than the contents of the constitution. Otherwise, bandits can impose a document on you and force you to take it. That does not mean it is legitimate. A people's constitution must be autochthonous. It must be homegrown, owned by the people. Not like the present constitution of 1999, Decree 24, which tells a lie about itself in its preamble when it says, "We the people of Nigeria do hereby give to ourselves the following constitution." We never gave to ourselves the 1999 constitution. The constitution itself now said in section 1, subsection 1 and section 1, subsection 3, that the constitution is supreme, and if any other law is inconsistent with the provisions of the constitution, that other law will be void to the extent of that inconsistency. The question is, when did we give ourselves this constitution? The only constitution Nigeria has actually had by itself through a popular referendum, plebiscite, was the 1963 Constitution, which was passed on August 10, 1963, which created the Midwest region from Western region, thus making Nigeria a four-regional country: Western region, Northern region, Eastern region, and Midwestern region. So the present constitution has sections 8 and section 9, which make it impossible for the people to have a new constitution. They are saying that it is the National Assembly that can amend the constitution. A National Assembly cannot give birth to a constitution. It is an aberration. It is the constitution that gives birth to a National Assembly. The dog wags the tail. The tail cannot wag the dog. So the National Consultative Front is out to impress it upon the National Assembly that in the ongoing constitutional process amendment, they must remove those sections 8 and 9 of the Constitution and make it possible for Nigerians from all nooks and crannies to discuss amongst themselves where we are coming from, where we are, and where we want to go to, which we call the national question. Then subject the decisions to a national referendum, a plebiscite of the people, so that we can confidently proclaim and say, we the people of Nigeria have given to ourselves the following constitution. Dr. Ruben Abati, I give you an example. Nigeria is going it the wrong way. In 1786, after America became independent in 1776, in 1786, about 55 patriotic Americans, they met at the State House in Pennsylvania. When they met there, they decided that, look, we needed a more perfect union. There were already confederates. They already had confederates. But they thought they needed a center that is not too powerful to override the federated units, and the federated units that were not too powerful to override the center. So they decided to come together. 55 of them. It was that constitutional convention that threw up George Washington, who became the first president of America. It was that constitutional convention that held between May and September 1787 that threw up people like John Jay, people like John Madison, and people like people who wrote the Federalist Papers that we are still reading till tomorrow, that remade America. It was during that constitution that they decided to have what we call the doctrine of separation of powers embedded in their constitution, a doctrine that had been propounded in 1748 by Baron de Montesquieu, a great French philosopher. It was that constitution, a constitution that is only 7 articles, 29 amendments, and only 7,591 words. It is that constitution that brought about the doctrine of judicial review, that brought about checks and balances.
Okay, sir.
So, they decided to come together to own that constitution, and they owned it.
Okay, so
Nigeria do not have such a constitution.
Chief OZEKEHOME, yeah.
Thank you, Rufai. Now, if we were to list the problems plaguing Nigeria right now, there would be insecurity, poverty, but the two are inextricably linked. How does your sort of attempt at constitutional reform address this, seeing as we know that some people will stoop to any depth to make a buck?
Oh, let me tell you, Nigeria will continue to be on a journey to no destination, like an aircraft without a compass, if we think that we can make it right by having another person, for example, who will be better than Buhari. What we need to build are strong institutions, not strong men. You will have even weaker people, because the system itself is convulsive. It does not allow for the best to come out. It does not allow the youth who have the brains to come out. It is a system that is being dictated by money baggism. The elites who have stolen our commonwealth, stolen our money through politics, want to use it again to corrode the system. So a new constitution will bring about a new dawn. It will take care of the interests of the youth, the women, how to develop power, the economy, international relations. But because it is given to the whole people in all nooks and crannies of Nigeria to debate it between now and December, when we hope that a draft constitution will come out, and of course, by the end of this March, the National Consultative Front, NC Front, will try to kickstart the people's mobilization. Then by May, we hope to start the draft of the constitution being put together by Nigerians. And 60 members of the Constitutional Drafting Committee are there. But when they are making a draft, the inputs are from all Nigerians who will feel that, look, we are looking forward to a new Nigeria that we own together. Not that some people are imposing on us like colonials. Look, Dr. Ruben, and the last person who asked me a question. We have gone through series of problems, and we have discovered that the first and major problem we are having is that we do not have an abiding faith in ourselves, because there is no document making a contract between us and the people, which is why we have lost faith in the government, which is why the people are resorting to self-help through local vigilante groups.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
From the 1922, just a moment.
Okay.
May I go on?
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Just go on, sir.
Yes. Thank you very much. From the 1922 Clifford Constitution, to the 1946 Arthur Richards Constitution, to the 1951 Macpherson Constitution, to the 1954 Littleton Constitution, to the 1960 Independent Constitution, to the 1963 Republican Constitution, to the 1979 Obasanjo Constitution, to the 1989 IBB Unused Constitution, to the 1995 Obasanjo Unused Constitution that came out of the National Political Reform Conference. I was at that conference. I was also at the Vision 2009. I was also at the conference of 2014. Up to the Pronaco draft constitution that was chaired by late sage Chief Anthony Nahoro, the man who in 1953 moved the motion for Nigeria's independence. We have not had a constitution that the Nigerian people can say, hello, we organize ourselves. We made the constitution. We subjected it to a referendum of the people, a plebiscite of the people, and we adopted it as a working document. If you are in any club or union, you remember that the first thing you try to do for that club or union is to have a constitution. Okay, sir. Okay. That is the testament that binds people together. Yes.
Okay, I want to come in here, sir. I mean, great insight you've been able to chart. You've talked about the need for a social contract. You know, I think Jean-Jacques Rousseau talked about it even better in his book, you know, the contract between the people and those that govern them and the likes. But you say that we've never had a constitution that the people truly, you know, came out for. But I think in 77, we had a constituent assembly that led to the 79 constitution. So what would you say about that constituent assembly? Because if this 1999 constitution is still sort of like an offshoot of 79, but there was a constituent assembly in 77 that did sit down. So is what you're doing now sort of, you know, another constituent assembly? And when are you going to get the government buy-in into all of this? Because you still need them to be able to function. I mean, you talked about 95, you talked about Prodaco, you talked about, you know, the conversations then. Some of it was heard by the government, led to state creation in 96 and thereabout. But how are you going to get the government buy-in on this? Since the government is saying, and the argument has always been, there's a National Assembly to do all of that.
Well, let me first tell you, the 1979 Constitution, yes, there was a Constituent Assembly, I'm aware. There was a Constitution Drafting Committee that was headed by the late legendary Chief F.R.A. Williams. I'm aware. But was that Constitution ever subjected to a referendum or a plebiscite of the Nigerian people to own as their own document? It was never. Don't forget that it was a military government that was trying to midwife a democratic dispensation that gave us that Constitution. The people never owned it. But even the 1979 Constitution can even be said to be better than the 1999 Constitution, where there was no Constituent Assembly. What we are now saying is that we want the Nigerian people to be the Constituent Assembly. We may draft the Constitution. We give it to them. Own it. Look into it. Serve as the Constituent Assembly. Debate it. Agree on it. Whether we get the government to buy into it, the government definitely will try to frustrate it. The present government has never touched the 2014 National Conference over 600 recommendations with a 10-foot pole, a conference that was made up of 492 people. The argument later came who elected the people. But then, what has been missing is that we are relegating the people who actually matter more, who should actually say, that document you are drafting, let us first start by making input. Even after making input, after its draft, give us the draft, subject it to a referendum, whether we agree with this document or not, the same way we did it before the 10th of August 1963 Constitution of Midwest Region came into being.
Chief OZEKEHOME, let's go on another short break. When we return, the conversation will continue. Just hold your thoughts. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. Chief Michael OZEKEHOME is still with us, senior advocate of Nigeria, constitutional lawyer, and human rights activist. Chief OZEKEHOME, thank you for staying with us. You were talking about referendum. You know that that's a very controversial word in Nigeria, just like sovereignty. People have argued that when you talk about referendum, there's no constitutional backing for it. And you remember what happened in 1961 when Nigeria, a part of Nigeria, went to the Cameroons. But continue with your point. We're still with you.
Yes, thank you. A referendum is necessary for us to have a homegrown constitution that the people own. Do you know why? The constitution, amongst all laws, let me put it in local parlance, the other laws are like what you call ballets or chiefs or daudus. The constitution is the Kabiesi, that is the Oba, the Eze, and the Emir, amongst other laws. An abiding faith in it as a document helps the people to be driven by a common cause, not all these forces that are centripetal and centrifugal at the same time. We all saw the NSAS. The NSAS was the result of anger by the youth. The youth that have been forgotten, who should actually be the driving force, the engine room of a country. Do you know that at the age of 23 to 25, Dr. Matthew Umbi was already Minister of External Affairs in Nigeria? Do you know that people like King G.T. Spiff were already military governors at the age of 28? Do you know that General Yakubu Gowon was a bachelor and just 32 years old when he became head of state of this country? Do you know that now, at 32, that age, many Nigerian youths are still struggling to pass through the university system because of ASU strike that may last for 1 year or 1.5 years? There is despondency. There is frustration. There is anger. Meanwhile, the elites are united in one thing. You may hear them say they are in PDP or they are in APC. They have the same cause of bleeding Nigeria hemorrhagically. They bleed Nigeria. They are united in that. They are the same coin having two faces. Whether PDP, APC, they are the same Hamlet and the Prince of Denmark. They are the same beans, Akara and Momoy. There is no difference between them. These people who are coming together, many of them are not politically involved. Some of them are. But they crave for a new Nigeria, the National Consultative Front. You have it is being co-chaired by Dr. Pat Utomi and Honorable Gali Naaba. We have great Nigerians like Dr. Olisa Agbakoba, Hakim Baba. We have great Nigerians. My humble self, I'm there. Femi Falana is there. We have people like Mogelu. We have Awolowo Dosumu. I'm not trying to name them. I'm just trying to tell you that these people, Dr. Tanko is there. Professor Chidi Odinkalu is there. These people are coming together to say, enough is enough of this armed banditry. Enough is enough of this herdsmen crisis where Nigeria is literally being abducted. I just wrote an article and I said, when will Nigeria be finally abducted? We now have ministers, governors, and some clerics going into the forest to negotiate with armed bandits from Chibok to Dapchi. from Kankara to Kagara, from Jangebe to different sectors. It has become the most thriving industry in Nigeria, and banditry. Once they capture innocent girls, they give them billions of naira, they let go, they wait, they buy more arms, they come back.
Well, you just talked about the security situation in the country, which is also something that is of interest to us. Recently, we're told that the president issued an executive order saying that anybody that is seen with an AK-47 and is not, an official of the state or that's a security agent should be shot on sight. And at the same time, a no-fly zone was declared over Zamfara State. Would you like to comment on this? This shoot-on-sight order, is it not the sanctioning, the endorsement of extrajudicial killing?
Well, there must be a very careful balancing so as not to turn it into extrajudicial killing. But at least I'm happy for once that Mr. President appears to be waking up from his 6-year deep slumber. We have been talking about this insecurity. Have we not been seeing the AK-47 wielding herdsmen going about, even on Abuja streets? Have you not seen cows by the national offices here, in Abuja here? The very central office, the monument of the civil service of Nigeria, and the cars have to pass to allow cows to pass. How do you rule a country like that? So that order, to me, is emanating because the president is finally waking up to the reality that Nigeria is going away gradually by installments, and that we are praying against a Rwanda, a Liberia, a Somalia genocidal stage, a case of Yugoslavia. We are praying against that. That is why he's giving that executive order, so that these armed bandits, we know that they are being watched. It was Hippocrates, the father of medicine, who once theorized that desperate diseases require desperate remedies. If the armed bandits, if the herdsmen who wield AK-47 rifles now know that they can be shot, they will drop their AK rifles. Look, Dr. Abati, when I was growing up, in my Ijukwe town, near Agenebode, Esako, East Local Government Area of Edo State, cows used to come and pass. And you know what? We'll be singing, following the cows dancing. Malu koga, daba daba koga. Bisa yegete akia, iduni ikpota moabo, nete gbea pu. Translated, we say malu that has hooves, cows that have hooves. They are walking on the streets, and they are being led by very elderly men who are carrying sticks, mere walking sticks, with which they flog them and whip them into line when they misbehave. We didn't see AK-47. We will come out, we will take their fura de nunu, we will drink, we will give them water to drink. Some will stay with us overnight. But today, herdsmanship is no longer a lucrative business from the sales of the cow, but from raping and maiming and destroying farms belonging to innocent farmers, raping their wives, their mothers, their daughters, killing the people in their farms. On the way, armed bandits will lay us like in the form of kidnappers. In the air, our decrepit aircraft fall to the ground like little birds. So everywhere we turn to, the average Nigerian is endangered. Nigeria is today more divided than it has ever been. This gives cause for the National Consultative Front. Chief. Corruption in Nigeria today is highest, with Transparency International rating us as one of the 148 out of 180 countries, most corrupt countries in the world.
If I may comment here, well, it's just that lawyers don't retire. If lawyers were to retire, I'm sure you'll make a good musician, you know, if you make another career choice. But let's go on break. Please stay with us. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back to the morning show here on the Arise News Channel. Chief Michael OZEKEHOME is still here with us. OZEKEHOME is Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Well, Chief OZEKEHOME, thank you for being with us. If you may just continue from where the point at which I interrupted.
Yes, I am saying that in insecurity, we have gone from bad to worse. Don't forget that when Mr. President was making his campaign promises, he told Nigerians that as a retired military general, he would lead from the front. Nigerians believed him. And Nigerians wanted Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan out of power at all costs because they believed that Mr. President will stamp his authority of military power and knowledge on Nigeria's insecurity situation. But mind you, Dr. Abati, there was so much security in the Northeast in 2015 that elections still held and Buhari won in that area. But do you know what is going on? Ask people from the Northeast, ask people from Niger State, ask people from many other states. These bandits, these insurgents, these Boko Haramis, they now control large swamps of land. Some of them are said to even give license to people to pass through their terrain. So when a group of people, like us, where you will have people like Dr. Bugaje, Dr. Melafia, you know, people like Dr. Husani, people who are just fervently concerned about the direction of Nigeria. How do we stop the raving and ravaging unemployment of the youth that is taking some youth to go on internet as internet scammers? What do we do about the fact that the people have even lost faith in their governments? That is why you see these local vigilante groups. You see Amotekun amongst the Southwest. For example, you see the Eastern Security Network. When I saw DSS operating soldiers and police trying to abduct or arrest Sunday Igboho, I knew they were making a mistake. They didn't seem to realize that Sunday Igboho is no longer that young boy who was learning how to repair motorcycles in Ile-Ife before he went to Ibadan. They didn't seem to realize that he was now wearing the face of the Yoruba people's struggle against marginalization and insult, against being killed in their own homes, where our Nobel laureate, Professor Wole Soyinka himself, has bemoaned a situation where he can no longer go into the forest with his den gun to hunt, which has always been a hobby, a pastime. They didn't seem to know that Sunday Igboho was carrying the cross like an albatross on his neck of a people beleaguered, just like Nnamdi Kanu has been doing for the Igbos. What it means is that it is a gradual disintegration of Nigeria without knowing it, turning it into a failed state, except something drastic was done. And that is why we are coming together. We ask you, we ask the media, we ask all Nigerians to buy into this project, that we need to save Nigeria from itself.
Okay.
We need to put the Ellis behind doors.
Okay.
And get a new crop of Nigerians.
Okay, Chief.
That will not go to the National Assembly because they want to own between 10 and 15 million naira per month.
Okay, Chief OZEKEHOME.
The highest in the world.
So the question to be asked then at that point is whether the National Consultative Forum will be fielding candidates from presidential to, down ballot, governorship, representatives, senators.
what we are doing first is to mobilize Nigerians. Like I told you, some of us, even for now, are apolitical. We are not partisanly political. I don't belong to any political party, for example. But the National Consultative Front, NC Front, will become very formidable in the next few months because most Nigerians will buy into it as a mass movement. Then it can become an alternative platform from the PDP and the APC, which Nigerians of the best character, the Dolly Parton's coat of many colors, will conglomerate into to begin to take over power. We are not averse to taking over power, but we are not coming out because we want to take over power. Rather, we want to...
Thank you so much, my wonderful viewers, for watching this video together with me from the beginning to the end. Like I said before, if you like what you see here, if you like what I do in this platform, as you have finished watching this video, please hit that red button that says subscribe and put on your notification bell to all notification. In that way, you'll be able to know when I upload a new video. Share my videos, leave your comments in the comment section constructively. Until I meet your way again in my next video, I still remain your Linda's TV show. Bye-bye.